Okay, let's dive in. Welcome, everyone. We're taking a piece from Mitchell's Chartered Accountants today and really unpacking it, the topic. Key challenges facing UK business owners as we look towards 2025. Our mission here is pretty simple. Sift through their analysis and pull out the core insights for you.
Yeah, and I think the first thing that jumps out from the source is just how, well, complex the picture is. It's not like one single issue. It feels like a whole bunch of significant pressures hitting businesses all at once from different angles.
So we're talking more than just the standard day-to-day business hurdles then.
Oh, definitely. The source paints a picture where everything feels sort of amplified, more intense than usual.
Got it. Okay, so where do they start? What's the first big challenge they flag?
They kick off with the economic environment. Basically, they see the UK economy as, well, fragile, and persistent inflation is still a major factor, still kind of eating away at things.
And how does that actually feel for a business owner, according to the source? What's the tangible impact?
Well, that's the key bit. It's not abstract. They talk about those rising operational costs, energy, supplies, the lot really squeezing profit margins hard. Plus, that general economic uncertainty, it dampens consumer spending, which makes it extra tough for businesses in areas like hospitality, retail.
Right, the classic double whammy. Costs going up, customer spending
Yeah,
tightening.
exactly. A fundamental pressure.
Okay, so that's the big economic picture. What follows that? What's the next major headache the source points to?
The labor market,
Yeah.
still a massive challenge, apparently. Finding skilled staff and, just as importantly, keeping them. The source mentions this is getting more expensive, too, partly because of things like the national living wage increases. That's the minimum pay.
Yeah, the statutory minimum.
Right. And higher employer national insurance contributions, that payroll tax.
Yeah.
So you're trying to manage this rising wage bill while also finding people with the right skills. It's a real juggling act.
That sounds like a constant background pressure for sure. What about the regulatory side? Feels like the goalposts are always moving there.
They absolutely are. The source highlights this rapidly changing regulatory scene, lots of new compliance stuff landing on businesses. They mention things like flexible working requests being allowed from day one of employment, plus new environmental rules, stricter cybersecurity demands, and even specific company law updates like needing to verify director IDs and changes to reporting. It all adds layers of complexity and costs.
So definitely more admin, more hoops to jump through. And thinking broader, they also mentioned supply chains still being disrupted.
Yes, this is where the global picture really hits home for UK businesses. You've got geopolitical tensions, the ongoing sort of structural ripples from Brexit, and then potential new trade issues. The source brings up possible US tariffs, for instance. All this creates uncertainty, potential delays, higher costs if you import or export stuff. Businesses really need to build resilience there, maybe diversify who they buy from.
Sounds like you need to be incredibly reactive, just keeping operations smooth. And speaking of change, technology must be in the mix. AI is everywhere now.
It is. And look, AI has huge potential, right, for efficiency, new ideas. But the source flags that actually integrating it properly is a big challenge itself. It takes serious investment, finding staff who can use it or training existing ones. And then there are all the ethical questions, data security. It's not just plug and play.
And what about those more traditional, maybe high street businesses? Is the pressure from online competitors still a major factor?
The source says yes, very much so. Fewer people on the streets, that ongoing drift towards online shopping, it's still a massive threat for many. They really stress that these businesses need to genuinely embrace digital tools. It's not really optional anymore, it's about survival.
Okay, and one last area, security. With all this digital shift, cybersecurity must be a huge concern.
Absolutely critical. The source really emphasizes this. Businesses rely more on digital systems, and the threats, like ransomware, are getting smarter, maybe even using AI themselves. So protecting data, making sure you can keep operating. If you do get hit, it's paramount. Layer on those wider risks like geopolitical instability or even climate change impacts, and you see businesses are fighting fires on many fronts.
Okay, right. Let's try and wrap this up then. The main message from this Mitchell's piece seems to be that UK business owners in 2025 are facing, well, a potent mix of pressures. We've got the economy with that sticky inflation squeezing profits, the labor market issues driving up wage costs like the national living wage, all those new regulations, flexible working, director IDs.
Yep, plus the unstable supply chains, partly Brexit, partly global stuff. Then there's the whole challenge of actually using AI effectively, not just talking about it.
And cybersecurity threats like ransomware getting worse. It's a lot.
It really is. Navigating all that takes serious skill.
So here's a final thought, something the source itself touches on for you to maybe mull over. Getting through this environment clearly requires being adaptable, planning carefully, managing risks proactively. We've established that. But the really crucial bit they imply is this. Can you also spot the opportunities hidden within all this complexity? The pressures are undeniable, but sometimes pressure creates new openings, new ways to add value. Where might those be for you? Something to think about.